We all wanna change. We all wanna be somebody else. I wanna visit all the places nobody goes. I wanna teach all the things that nobody knows. I wanna grow wings, leave the coop, learn to fly. Bungee jump from the tallest building in Dubai. I wanna fly around town in my UFO. I wanna eat real food, not the GMOs. I wanna make moves called the
Hello and welcome to Desertwood Days. I am your host, Kathy Blaze, and today I am here with Miss Gita Farid, filmmaker, screenwriter. How are you today?
Troublemaker.
Troublemaker. With the sexy shoes on today. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Such a pleasure. Such a pleasure. I wanted to ask you, where were you when you decided that you want to be a filmmaker?
Well, I sometimes share this story that when I was a child, I liked to direct. And I was a little bit on the bossy side. So I'd go out in the garden and we had all these flowers and I would instruct them. And if they waved in the wind, I would get very upset and wave a stick at them. So I think it was in my DNA to direct, to organize things, to put things together. So it's been kind of a lifelong thing, I think.
Oh, wonderful. You're a little different. You do period pieces.
Yes.
And are there any other directors here in Arizona that do period pieces that you know of?
Not that I know of, no. It's turned into sort of a niche of mine because I grew up in England and the British are obsessed with the two world wars. You know, we won the war, we won the war, we won the war. So that's kind of also in our DNA. So we're raised with that. And so I just found it to be very interesting. History is interesting.
Yes, it is. Well, that's a great niche to have. I mean, someone needs something, they know who to go to.
Absolutely.
They want a film made, they know who to go to.
Yes,
they know who have all the knowledge there. That's awesome. Tell me about the corner room. Where did this idea come from?
So because I make a lot of films about the Second World War, I think to which you're referencing. And the Second World War actually broke out in Poland in 1939. And so I had made films about the Second World War, but never really showed the genesis of it, how it just sort of blew up there. And so the film was about an invasion of a Jewish quarter by the invading Nazis who occupied Poland. And it was just to show how it affected people. And I drew a little bit on the very sad story of Anne Frank, because she was hiding in an attic, and 4 months before the end of the war, she passed away. They caught her and she died in a camp. So it was very sad that she didn't make it to the end, but almost. And so the whole idea was to do, I don't want to give it away, but it was based on an Anne Frank type of story about two older sisters who are living in an attic, trying to not be detected by the Nazis when there's a raid.
Being that you do period pieces and like you're one of a kind, when you're casting for actors, do you have a hard time finding actors to fit the roles and to sometimes to have the accents that you need in certain roles?
So it's very interesting. I'm glad you asked that. No, because the actors I work with are supremely excellent. They're wonderful. Previous film that I made about Hitler's mistress, Eva Braun, who became his wife, we actually went and had dialect coaching.
Okay.
And I would sit with them because I would never ask my actors to do something that I couldn't do.
Sure.
Same when we were doing the Russian accents. I would actually also train, and I learned the Cyrillic alphabet and all this stuff. So the actors who apply for my films know that they have to do European accents. It's given. Mm-hmm. So they come sort of prepared. But it was really interesting for the corner room. The main actor was Lithuanian, Mantas Valentėjas, and he was in my previous film. Long story short, the original actor I had intended couldn't make it, and had dark hair. And I kept telling him, "You're going to have to bleach your hair because you don't look, you know, Polish or, you know, that typical." And there was problems with it because he couldn't do it. He was going to be on set somewhere else. Anyway, he had to drop out. And my other Lithuanian actress actually found Mantas Valenteas, who had been a winner at the Cannes Film Festival, short films.
Okay.
So because he's from Lithuania, he has an Eastern European accent, but it's not very strong. So I was really lucky for the corner room to have to be able to work with them again.
Wonderful. Yeah. Wardrobe.
Yes.
Okay. How difficult is it for you to find or get the wardrobe that you need?
So it's kind of hard. I'm very much steeped in the era of the Second World War. So I know the silhouettes that I'm looking for, and the clothing and stuff. Actually, my background is in fashion design and history of costume. So I scour, I comb all the thrift shops around me, Phoenix, everywhere that I can. If something catches my eye, I'm always buying stuff. That's why I'm broke, because it goes into props and clothing.
So do you have a room for those clothes, your props and things?
It's overflowing, yes. Yeah, I do. It's so it basically, honestly, I get everything from thrift shops, and if I can adapt it, I do. I mean, you won't believe the stuff I find.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
that is. Speaking of that film festival, you mentioned that earlier. How, with you being pretty much this niche, you're in it.
Mm-hmm.
How's the competition with your films? I mean, how do they judge you if they have all these other genres of films? I mean, what is the comparison, the competition? Or
I have to be careful to, you know, which festivals that I can vet and send to that would be interested in that.
Right.
Because if you're sending it to a country and western festival, I don't know, Nashville or somewhere, they're like, what is this? You know? It has to be in alignment with the niche.
Right.
And so people have their niches, and so I've learned from experience and making mistakes that you have to, you know, find the best fit for the films.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And so
have you ever been able to submit here in Arizona?
So I have, and I have not been successful in Arizona. So in a way, I feel that it's a shame that I have to send my stuff outside of Arizona, because I seem to get more success when I send my festivals outside of Arizona, which is a bewilderment to me, because I want the people who worked on my film to be recognized in Arizona for the excellence of their work. But I don't seem to be able to make it so.
That's because you're the queen of that niche here in Arizona. So you brought us a teaser today, right?
Yes.
Could you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes. So the preamble to that is that during lockdown, I watched a lot of Russian films.
Okay.
I had no idea, because I always did Europe and France and, you know, the Nazis and all that stuff. And then I found that the Russians were actually very brave in their fight against the Nazis during the Second World War. And I think I've watched every World War II contemporary film made.
Okay.
And so I thought, you know what, I want to make a film about Russian spies during the Second World War.
Well, why don't we take a look at this?
Yes, so it's based on Russian spies and heroes. It's also showing other contemporary heroes. So
and what's the name of it?
It's Zanzibar Media.
Okay, let's take a look. Oh, that's cute.
Thank you.
So, tell us a little. When will this be available? Are you working on the feature?
So I'm working on a TV series, and we are getting a foot in the door to have it signed
Oh,
with
okay.
a studio.
Oh, okay.
But that's it's called Jessica Frost. So it's my director Runa Bernstein's project, and I'm a producer on that.
Oh, okay.
But on my own sort of World War II stuff, the section you saw
Uh-huh.
with the Russian spies is something I'm developing to do a Russian film
Okay.
from the Russian point of view, not from the other European point of view. And then also the others is I'm actually setting up a media company as well to do advertising for nonprofits.
Wonderful.
So I want to be able to represent and throw light on the struggles of other people and be able to help them with their fundraising and
That
advertising.
is awesome. Where can our audience find you?
So ZanzibarMedia.com
Wonderful.
is where you'll find
Thank
us.
you.
Yes.
And thank you for giving us this bio and this information on period pieces.
Thank you so
Because
much.
there's a lot of people that don't know that there's films out here in Arizona about period.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us today. We will catch you next time on Desertwood Days.